everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Watch or Not with Jay and MJ. I'm Jay.
I'm MJ.
So, you want to know something fun?
Okay, always.
So, we all know about the NCAA tournament and shit, and how I know fuck all about basketball.
Well, and the fact that it's anybody's guess would have been wrong this year.
So, I was in a couple. I was in a work one, and I was in one that actually had money involved.
Oh, you actually paid for one?
Yeah. So I did that when
like a friends group.
Johnson's.
Okay.
And I always assume I'm going to lose because I do.
Yeah.
And like when I first started doing this like years ago, I always would do like a fun little game with it. Like there was the first year I did it, I was like which mascot would beat which mascot. And I think that was the year that Syracuse went to like the Final Four or something, because I was like, what's an orange gonna fucking do against a Wildcat? So like
it's true. I mean, when you think about it that way, I get it.
I did it that way. And then like the next year after that, I did it by hottest coaches. And I think
had Virginia going.
I think I had Virginia winning. Oh my God. And which this year FAU's coach?
I don't know FAU's coach.
His name's Dusty May. Like, what a dumb name. But he's kind of cute. Like, he's giving me daddy. Like, it's like I'm on board with him a little bit.
Wow.
Like, I'm fully on board with him. He looks like a disgraced politician in that photo, but I would definitely get on board. Regardless, the Owls, which I guess is better than some names. Regardless,
sure. Yes.
My point is,
get to it.
So this will air on Monday, but the last Final Four game was on Saturday, and UConn won.
Yeah.
And that I jumped from like 7th place to like 1st, and I won.
So there's no one who could compete with you at this point?
No, I won. Like, that's it.
The one the money was involved?
Yes. I guess with the money. And then the first thing I did was I started looking at tennis shoes to buy. Like I need a 36th pair of tennis shoes.
I thought my mind went straight to when you said you got money. I was like, is that why you're buying MLB The Show 2023?
Oh, no, I thought that just was regular discretionary funds. Like, and to be fair, we had that conversation about how things change. It is exactly the same game, but I'm liking it. It's a game I can play that I don't have to think about, and I like that I could just like do shit, like just play something and not care.
Fair enough.
For the next month, because what comes out in the April,
which the Jedi
Star Wars Survivor,
yep,
and then what comes out in mid-June.
I don't know June.
Final Fantasy 16.
Okay, because May is Legend of Zelda.
My next, I don't really do Legend of Zelda.
We'll switch. I was gonna. So yeah.
So I see myself through at least August playing games that are going to be like, not only in your brain, but it's gonna be a lot.
Well, okay, and this year's a lot. Like you said, April has Jedi, May is Legend of Zelda, June is Final Fantasy 16. I think there's a little bit of break, like July-ish, and then you have like Spider-Man towards the end of the year.
Oh, I mean that's fine. I mean I'm okay with that. That's great. Yes, I love Spider-Man. I didn't finish it, but I liked it.
Yeah.
And do you know what else I've randomly decided to get? I randomly think I'm going to be into.
What?
I started seeing videos for Street Fighter and Tekken.
Like a crossover,
like Street Fighter 6.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like characters from that and like little games or little like playthroughs, and then Tekken 8 has been doing character reveal videos.
Ooh, who's in it?
Like the normals. Like, I mean, to be fair, it is weird that like the last Tekken I played was probably Tekken 2 or 3, Tekken 3, and
I think mine was Tekken 4.
Most of the characters are still there. Like they like Ling Xiaoyu or I forgot Ling Xiaoyu maybe. Jun Kazama, Kazuya, Jack.
Well, you got a little time before Tekken comes out.
Yeah, I heard. King.
King was my man.
Nina Williams. My person was after all the way to Tekken 3 was either Michelle Chang or it was one of three. It was Michelle Chang, Jun Kazama, or it was Anna. And Anna was one of the characters that like when you had you had your core like 10 or something, and as you beat the game, you would unlock other characters. Anna was one of the unlockable characters, and she wore like this stupid dress that she somehow kicked in. I don't know how she did it, but whatever. I'm excited about it.
I always did King and was it Robo King? What was the other one? Or Mecha King?
I think you're talking about Jack, right?
No. Hold on. Tekken. I gotta pull up the picture.
You're not gonna know which one it is. You're not gonna know which Tekken you're talking about. But I am excited to fighting games. I think it's a little weird.
Armor King.
I don't know. Oh, he's probably a character you could get.
Yeah, you unlocked him because it was like King, but he had like the heavy metal like spikes and stuff on. Yeah,
cute. But that excited me.
Cool. No, I didn't know that Tekken and stuff. Well,
excuse me.
obviously because I didn't know Tekken was coming out because it's not till next year. But Street Fighter 6, I've never been a big Street Fighter fan.
I think that I've gone back and played it. And I'll be like, this is really basic, but I'm hoping that it is like evolved as far as like it looks better because the thing with Street Fighter that I remember being bad about it was like every person had like exactly 2 special moves.
Yeah, but it's very skill based. Like you have to learn like quarter background. Like you know the commands to input. It's very
That's how
like,
King was at Tekken. Like that was one of the hardest things about Tekken. That's why I never played King because King made you press like the button combination to do the weird DDT. Excuse me.
the weird. It's just a
You know what I'm
DDT.
talking about? Where he was
I
just
know
like,
exactly
where it was
what
like he was wrapping the arms around and folding origami and stuff, and then he was like, bloop, bloop, bloop.
Oh,
and then he would
I always
DDT
just
you.
did the like the power slam where you just pick them up and just over top. Like I would just do that.
Yeah,
all the time.
but and that was one of the things they said is that they simplified King in this new Tekken.
Oh, that'd be good.
But
I might have
that
to
was
pick it
my
up
problem
then.
with Street Fighter was what I remember, and when I say remember, I mean like the last Street Fighter I played was like Super Nintendo version. It was like
Wow.
you had 2 moves, and that was really it. Like fucking Ryu Kid had you can.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was 3 moves.
I love the sound effects.
welcome.
Those are spot on.
But when you right now they're doing like they do developer matches. So is what's
is it
on YouTube right now.
Really? For Tekken
And
or Street Fighter?
For Street Fighter. And you can see like the characters like so basically they have 2 characters playing, but it's basically focused on one person like showing like the moves that they can do. And it seems pretty cool. Like I'm kind of excited about it.
Okay.
It looks kind of cute.
I'm gonna have to watch these then.
Yeah, take a look.
So pretty much you're winning.
It's in a book, a reading rainbow.
So pretty much we've agreed that your discretionary funds now.
I can do anything.
Take a look.
With things to know and ways to grow. It's reading rainbow. Now the last one. I can go anywhere.
Take a look.
I forgot the rest
It's
of
in
it.
a book. That's all I know. It's like the very last part. Like the
It's reading
rainbow.
rainbow.
I can't.
Reading rainbow. There you go. You're picking it up. We got it.
I knew the ending.
You're welcome.
So your discretionary funds are gonna go to the Street Fighter.
No, I'm gonna buy a new pair of shoes. We established this. I'm gonna buy.
Your 36th
I'm gonna buy pair 36. I really cycle between 3, but I have like 36.
Oh my
to
gosh.
To be fair, I have like some dress shoes that I bought.
Yeah.
And I bought them over COVID because I was like, well, this will be the best time to replace all my dress shoes that I had for years.
Okay.
And we never went back to the office, so they're still sitting in the box. I've had them for years.
So you're gonna buy 36 when you've never worn 35.
But they were dress shoes. They were dressy shoes.
And I get why you bought them because we
For
wore
work.
dressy shoes. I got it. Yeah.
Right. So that, I mean, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of them are seasonal. Like I have seasonal shoes. Like I have boots. I do have a pair of Bedstew boots that I haven't worn in probably like 5 years, but I haven't put them out. But I don't want to throw them away.
I found a new brand, and I think maybe you showed it to me. Thursday boots. I looked at those the other day.
Those are cheap. I like a lot of boots, but I don't want to spend $300 on a pair of fucking boots.
The one I found was like 150.
And still a lot.
It is.
Well.
150 for a good pair of boots. I feel like is
That's
a
not a
decent
lot
price.
because my Steve Madden boots that I love, the ones I have on right now, are 140. But that's just because I love them so much.
Fair enough. If you wear them enough
They go with everything.
and keep them.
Hi everybody. So now that I've bragged about my
humble
my
bragging.
winnings,
Yes,
my winnings.
exactly.
I never win anything. Like I don't win anything. Like when I say I don't win anything, I mean I don't even come close to winning anything. Like last week, I was trying to name all the Buffy episodes. Couldn't even win that fucking bullshit. Couldn't even win that.
If you haven't watched, go back and watch our last week's episode. We had a real fun
Failed
time.
horribly.
The super fan over here.
We're doing season 3 today.
Can we just go back to the one that still makes me giggle of what was the title? The Inca.
Inky Mummy Girl. It was the one with the Inky Mummy Girl.
That was your description.
because that's what it was. Like sometimes it's not that hard. Sometimes it's just really simple.
It's kind of a cop out to be like the one, Inca Mummy Girl. It's the one with the Inca Mummy Girl.
Because it was.
Okay.
She like arrived on a bus.
Do I need to go ahead and pull up season 3?
Yeah. So today we really have a huge stock in you guys. We are going to do a TV party at 3. It's not really connected to our show that we're reviewing, which is Apple TV Plus original Shrinking.
Yes.
Which is exciting. So really our TV party at 3 is just based on our whim today.
Yeah, we just kind of pulled a random one out of our hat.
Yeah, and it was like I think talking about the MTV shows really got me thinking about this last week because in our last party of three, and it got me thinking about all the shows I watched before. So it is like
Yeah.
our TV party of three is all based around like cartoons, not our favorite animated things. It is what are your cartoons, like your top three. What is at that table with you for cartoons? And you know what I mean by cartoons? I'm talking Saturday Morning. I'm talking about like the original, the OG definition of cartoons.
why you got up early with your cereal bowl and your blanket sitting in front of the TV?
Yes,
that cartoon. I get you. I
Do you want to go directly into that?
Yeah, I can start us off if you want.
I'm going to start off because that what you just said is why this is my first one.
Okay,
and it's the first, and I think it's the first cartoon that I, even at my age, remember watching. Can I remember details about the episodes? No.
Can I take a guess?
But I remember. You can take a guess. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it's He-Man.
It is He-Man. And because it's the bowl of cereal. I remember sitting. I remember sitting in my underoos. Yes. In my underoos.
I love
with
it.
The t-shirt.
So good.
With the bowl. And it was like, and it was customary that my spoon was I have the every episode.
That is amazing.
And I specifically, so that, even though I remember nothing really about the I remember the cartoon, but I can't pick out episodes or specific things. That memory is locked. So it has to be He-Man. Like when they started redoing them on Netflix, I was like, yes, please. So
I haven't watched it in the remakes.
I love it. It's Sarah Gellar's a voice.
Oh,
in the new one.
Well, then I'll definitely. Okay.
But yeah, Skeletor and
yes, I love the old one.
Yeah. What is it? The sorceress? Is she just a sorceress?
Oh my gosh.
Man at Arms. Come on.
I love this tiger.
Yeah. Creaker. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I can't remember right now. But yes, that's one for me. He-Man. It's
good.
all the way. Castle Grayskull. I think I actually had a Castle Grayskull too.
That would be a lot of money right now if you could find it. I bet.
I don't have it.
Of course you don't.
Don't have it.
So
I'm not white. I'm not collecting baseball cards like fucking Jonah over there. Like, what the hell's your problem?
My dad has baseball cards, and he's a lot older than.
and they have done what for him in his life?
Brought him happiness.
Overrated.
Happiness is overrated.
Money's better.
Fair enough.
People who say money doesn't buy you happiness are fucking liars.
They're the ones who don't have money.
Huh?
What? Are those the ones that don't have money? The people who say that doesn't buy you happiness?
I don't know who says it. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. You're fucking lying.
I mean, it can buy me a puppy and afford me a dog. It can buy me a plane trip to somewhere else. It can buy me new stuff.
Right. I might be upset right now, but using this money can make me happy.
Yeah. I can donate to help people out. Make my I don't know.
I'm not talking about all that, but whatever.
Okay, my first cartoon, and I'm gonna paint you a little picture. So my cousin Andrew, who I don't really talk too much about, he's my mom's sister's kid. His dad is in the Air Force, so they moved around a lot, and they were on base in San Antonio for about 3 to 4 years. So I went to visit him in San Antonio 1 year. And this is going to date me. This was about the same time that Pokemon, like the first original cartoon, came out.
Okay.
And he got me and my brother and him, like, because my cousin was the one who got us, like, introduced to it. Like, we woke up every morning at 6:30 because there was a new episode. Like, they were doing it, like, daily. So we would wake up every morning at 6:30. Right before breakfast, before our parents would get up while we were on vacation, we would go downstairs, we would turn on the TV, we'd close the door in the little like room we were so we wouldn't wake anybody else up. We'd watch the show. They'd have that little intermission of, who's that Pokemon? And we'd always have to like you've never seen this? This is where our age difference kind of kicks in. You're judging me.
Keep going.
But yes, so yes.
I'm not.
So it was the whole like Pokemon cartoon was around the same time Pokemon cards came out and Pokemon Red and Blue were out, and it all just went right in together. So that was one of the cartoons I really remember as a kid because we woke up every morning, had to watch the new one, and we didn't watch it that morning. We had to find a way to possibly record it or watch it within the next day. Like we didn't want anybody to ruin it for us.
Okay.
It was cool. I liked it.
This is very difficult for me because I think that there were so many eras.
Yeah.
As far as cartoons go, like obviously He-Man was in the Thundercat era. I did watch Thundercats. It was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles era. It was in the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes era. Like that. So that one is what stood out to me in that particular era. And then there was the Like there's the Marvel cartoon era where there's Adventures of Spider-Man and the Batman, the DC,
Yep.
which I didn't pick. So then after that, it really goes into my like Nick Jr. Disney era.
You have a lot of eras.
It's a lot. Like, there were a lot of cartoons. So I honestly had to pick a Disney one, and it is Adventures of the Gummy Bears.
I have no idea what this is.
And these were, okay, so it was about these like, they were bears, and they were called gummy bears.
Not to be mistaken with gummy bears.
And they were, what they had was they would they were kind of magical bears, and they had this little.
Are these Care Bears?
No. I forgot about Care Bears. I loved Care Bears. That was definitely in that He-Man.
Oh, for sure. It was a lot.
Care Bears. The
like
Care Bears movie.
That's back with like Smurfs and stuff.
Smurfs, yes, forgot about them too. Like, it's just I've had some really good eras. Like,
yeah,
the Nick Jr. era was like David the Gnome, like that kind of stuff.
Okay,
but the Gummy Bears, like they were kind of magical and mystical, and they had like this concoction called gummy berry juice, and it made them really strong, and it made them like where they would bounce. And I guess bouncing was like a good deterrent.
Okay. Okay.
But it's on Disney Channel. It's on Disney Plus now. Like, it's still there.
But you better believe I'm gonna look this up later.
It's the Adventures of the Gummy Bears.
Okay.
And it was a fucking dumb cartoon, but I remember watching this religiously.
I've never heard of this.
Well, it's like I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, I wouldn't expect you to.
So in your era discussion, you spark something, and I'm gonna change one of mine to this next one. When you mentioned Thundercats, that same era, like I loved Thundercats, but that's not what I'm choosing.
Ghost Speed Racer, yeah.
I'm choosing Voltron.
I don't think I know what that is.
Okay, so they remade it on Netflix recently, but it was, to me, even before I remember Power Rangers, it was, the whole point was there was this kingdom on a planet out in the universe, and the protector of this and the universe was a collection of heroes who each one had a specific colored like lion. So there was like the blue lion, the red lion, the black lion, and all 5 combined into Voltron, the giant statue.
This is making sense to me.
Yeah, let me
no, you have to pull it. I just
yeah.
No.
So,
I think I'm remembering.
So it was very close to like what Power Rangers is, and I don't know what came out first. I just remember going to Hollywood Video here in Louisville with my dad on weekends. Yeah. And they would have the cartoons, like the old ones from like the 80s, and I could rent, and it'd have like 3 episodes on each tape. So we would get, like, when we were here for the weekend, we would rent a movie or something to watch that we hadn't seen, and I would always grab one of those for like, we did this for like 3 months straight, so I could try to get and watch all the Voltron episodes. But they recently remade it on Netflix, and I'm about 3 seasons out of, I think, 5 into it. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, third is going to be, this to me is the ultimate cartoon for me.
Okay.
Like, and when I say ultimate, I mean, it's one that I've rewatched.
Okay.
As it is. And it is the 1996-7 version of X-Men. The animated series.
I tried to restart that, and I got, because the first episode is Jubilee running away, right?
Maybe.
I got through half of that, and I was like, I just can't.
I've watched it. I love the Phoenix Saga in it. I love the Dark Phoenix Saga in it. Like,
I remember those. Those are good.
That is the cartoon that I really absolutely love.
Okay.
And it might be on Disney.
It is.
Too. I believe it is.
They added it there.
But to me, it was just so good. Like, I wasn't a comic book kid, but this really, I feel like this was very true to the comics. I don't know if it was.
At the time, I believe it was.
And this is where like this is where my love for X-Men comes in, is from that particular animated series.
Well, that's when you have a picture of Rogue, that's normally the Rogue you go with.
Yeah, because for me, that's when I started loving it. I was like, Rogue is my favorite.
Yeah, I get it.
She just is. And Jubilee's bullshit. Like,
did you send me, or maybe I sent to you, it was that one where it's like, I wasn't ready as a 13-year-old child watching this show, and like it started highlighting some of the noises the girls made, and like the body, the booty they gave to Rogue, and you're just like, what is going on?
That wasn't me though.
No,
I didn't
for
find
you,
any.
no.
I didn't find any of the male versions of the X-Men hot, to be honest.
You
Which is
didn't think
weird.
Gambit or Cyclops? Well, the glasses on Cyclops. Gambit, I feel like would be the one that most people would find like.
Cyclops was a pussy, and like
Oh.
as Scott Summers, like he was annoying and like a whiny baby.
Yeah.
Wolverine, I hadn't hit my daddy era yet, so
Okay.
that wasn't it. And then Gambit, I think I was okay with Gambit until he was out of his uniform and he had that gross ponytail,
I don't remember the ponytail.
like that loose ponytail, like it was just
Mm.
flat. I was like, what is that ponytail doing for you, Gambit? It's not doing shit for you. So
it's
out
the
of-
accent for
out of
Gambit.
all of them, like I didn't find any of that core
Okay,
X-Men to
fair
be
enough.
hot at all.
Fair enoch.
I'm trying to think back and see if yeah, no.
Because you'd have what? Magneto, Beast,
Magneto
Dr.
was
Xavier.
old. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
This is where you think that I think that everybody's fucking hot. Like this is on
No,
him. This is his
I
fault.
went straight to Gambit. That's all the only one I thought because this was
You
during
think I can't watch someone I think it's somebody's attractive.
this is literally like because the Wolverine in this time was the one that was accurate towards the comic books, and
Mhm.
Wolverine because he was like a wolf, he was always hunched over.
Don't try to explain yourself. My feelings are hurt. It's
Fair
fine.
enough. Okay, be hurt. My last one, and this is where I would probably rewatch this one today, kind of along the same lines as you. Was Hey Arnold.
Ew.
I don't know why I loved.
I'm sorry that I don't mean to react like that. Like that was different. What I got into.
I liked. Well, and that
That
was
might have been out. I might have been on my way out.
that was right around the same time as like it wasn't as grown up as like Rocco's Modern Life, and you had Angry Beavers and things at Nickelodeon and All Real Monsters we've talked about before. But I'm never and I mean Rugrats was a little young, so I don't know. Cat Dog wasn't ever
Rugrats
really,
was good.
and I think I've mentioned that in a previous Party of Three. But in Cat Dog, I never particularly liked. So I mean,
Doug was good. Sorry.
oh, I forgot about Doug.
Yes, Doug was so good.
Roger, his like
That
nemesis.
used to be automatic. That used to be an honorable mention. Doug.
What was his best friend? Skeeter.
Skeeter? It
Oh
was
my-
Skeeter, and then there was Patty Mayonnaise.
Yes,
and
Roger,
BB.
BB.
What was his dog's name?
That I was about to ask
Was
you
it
this.
Scooter?
No,
Sniffer?
was it Otto?
Beaver? It was not Otto. It was not Otto. Pork chop. It was pork chop.
It was pork chop. It was pork chop.
Sorry, keep it going. I didn't mean to.
No,
derail.
sorry. Yeah. But I was Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold was the one that I actually really liked the episodes. The coy, like there was a lot of like adult material in it that you never really caught as a kid.
Cue Ren and Stimpy.
Oh God. Yeah, like it was one of those ones where I was just like, this is really good, and I like the material, and it grows with me, and I can go back and still appreciate what it is today. Where like if you go back and watch Rugrats now, I'm like, we're just gonna let that lie. Yeah.
I'm with you. I agree. So yeah, TV party that was good. Like that's gonna make me and what made me think about this honestly was last week, and
Okay.
then randomly on TikTok, I saw someone had posted the old opening to Batman the animated series,
Yes. Okay.
and I was like, "This is
That's
the
on
most
HBO.
Is it?
If not the series, the movies that went along with them during that time are.
I was like, this is the most elaborate fucking opening series scene I've ever seen in my entire life. It's so stupid.
Yes.
But I do remember it.
It was good.
It was good. It was so good.
His little monologue. Can you say it?
What?
Didn't he have a little monologue like
No.
justice? Like
I don't think so. I did just watch it, but I don't think I paid that close of attention. I
Okay.
don't know though.
okay.
We're gonna play a quick game of Jimmy of Guess Who for season 3 of Buffy.
Okay. So
So are we doing? You're giving me names. I give you descriptions, right?
okay.
Or
First
do you want to try and do names?
First off, last time we tried to do names, just giving you the episode number, you failed horribly.
I did.
Secondly, I was choosing the seasons to go through last time. So you've picked season 3, which is, I'm assuming, is a more comfortable season of yours.
No, it's just because we
hadn't done it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we hadn't done it.
But to your point, you did very well when I would give you names and you would give me the descriptions.
So what we'll do is I will try to name it. If I can't name it, you'll give me the name and I'll give you a description.
Okay, but I'm not going to go in order.
What? You have to go in order. That's how I watch it.
Yeah, but your brain is like programmed for that.
But even with that, I still didn't know how to do season 1 or season 2. to be
Fine.
fair.
Okay, episode
Program.
1 of season 3.
That's called Anne.
Yes.
If I know the name, do we want to do a description? No.
No.
And episode 2, I believe, is Dead Man's Party.
Ding, ding, ding.
Episode 3 is. I'm gonna need the name.
Something, something, and a trick.
What?
Faith, hope, and trick.
Oh, this is the one where we meet the other vampire slayer, Faith, because there is a vampire named like Mastiffus or
It doesn't give
Mephistus.
anything more than just other vampires attack.
There's a lot of vampires. There's like a king vampire that comes in and she tracks him, and this is where we meet the third slayer, Faith.
Okay. So episode 4.
Episode 4. I need the name.
Beauty and the Beasts.
Beauty and the Beasts.
Yes, multiple.
I feel like this is the one with the homecoming. No, this isn't it. That's not it. That's something else. Beauty and the Beasts.
Do you want me to give you the first?
This one I don't know.
It is a 1-sentence description.
I mean,
Do you want me to read it to you?
yeah.
Oz becomes the prime suspect when a series of animal-like attacks occur in
Oh my
Sunnydale.
god. This is where we found out that Oz is a werewolf. Of course it is.
So what is episode 5 called?
I don't know.
You just
That's where I
talked
lose
about
it.
it.
Oh, it's the one where they have Slayer Fest 99. So it's it's not the prom, it's like the homecoming.
It's the
And
called Homecoming.
Cordelia and Buffy are like up for homecoming queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 6, I don't know.
Banned candy.
Oh, this is where they're all selling candy bars to fundraise, and the candy is like evil candy, and it turns all the adults into teenagers.
Evil
and
candy.
This is the episode that Giles and Buffy's mom sleep together while they're on the candy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right?
Yes, the candy makes them immature like teenagers.
Yeah.
It's episode 7.
Episode 7, my brain is thinking that this one has to do with witches. I think it has to be. I think it's the Hansel and Gretel episode, maybe. What's the name?
It is called Revelations.
No, Revelations was a good one. Revelations was, oh my God, what was Revelations? It's where somebody learns something.
Is that not the definition of a revelation?
It's, I don't, oh, wait. Is this the one where Cordelia finds out that Willow and, this is
It
the one-
doesn't
this is
give
the-
any of this description.
Oh, what is it then?
With some help from Faith's new watchers, Buffy seeks to destroy a weapon-like glove before
It's the
falls
Glove of
in the hands-
Minigan. It's the Glove of Minigan episode, and Faith's new watcher is like a bitch, and she's crazy.
It does. I just gave you the whole description it gave me.
Yeah, I know that one.
Okay, episode 8,
I don't know the name.
Lover's Walk.
Oh, this is the one where Cordelia finds out that like Spike comes back
Yes.
and he's pissed off about Drusilla and he kidnaps Willow and Xander and he's like, I need you to make me a love potion to get Drusilla back.
Ding, 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 ding,
And
ding.
yep, so that's that one. Lover's Walk.
Okay, episode 9,
Don't know the name.
The Wish.
Now see, this is where Cordelia at the end of the last episode, Cordelia and Oz both walk in on Willow and Xander making out.
Ooh.
And then she like runs away and falls and impales herself and is in the hospital. And when she gets back to school, she's like less popular. People are like, you dated Xander and you let him cheat on you. Gross. And then she meets a girl named Anya. And Anya, Cordelia's like, sorry, this is a long one. Cordelia is like, all my trouble started when Buffy came. And she said, I wish Buffy Summers had never come to Sunnydale. And Anya is a wish demon. And she says, done. And it's a wish. And Cordelia ends up in a world where Buffy was never came to Sunnydale at all.
That is the description part where it plunges them into a world where vampires have control of the town.
Yep. Willow and Xander are vampires in that alternate universe.
That's what it looks like with the picture. Do you want to go through the rest of the episode?
One of the best lines of that is that because Willow and Xander are like making out or something like that, and Cordelia's like, "You're kidding me! I wish us into Bizarro Land, and you two are still together. I can't win."
Oh my god!
Sorry,
I'm gonna to save some time. I'm gonna jump down. Episode 14 is
Wait.
called Bad Girls
No, why are you skipping?
because there's 20 something
There's
episodes.
22 episodes. Yes, I know. Where were we on?
We were on 10.
Because you're gonna miss the mid seasons, which are probably the good ones. So
Fine.
what's 11?
Well, no, 10 is the one we're on.
Okay, what's the name?
Amends.
Okay, so Angel is Angel's making amends because he is being haunted by the first evil.
Yes.
Got it. I'll shorten it.
Okay. Episode 11 is Gingerbread.
This is the Hansel and Gretel episode where
yes.
they find two kids dead or whatever, and it sparks like all this bullshit. And Buffy's mom tries to burn her at the stake.
Okay. Episode 12. You want to guess the name or just want to give the names?
Just give me the names.
Helpless.
This one I don't know.
Okay. Let me give you the description.
Helpless. Yeah.
As her birthday approaches, Buffy learns
It's another birthday fucking episode. Of course
loses
it
her
is.
Slayer powers and must do battle with a vampire who is not only extremely powerful but also quite mad.
This is the one where Giles was giving. It's a Slayer test, and he was giving her. He was injecting her with stuff to block her powers.
Interesting.
And then he had to lock her in a house with this crazy fucking vampire. It was a Slayer test, and he ended up kidnapping her mom.
Oh.
It was a whole thing. Like, it was a whole fucking thing with trust. And oh, God, it was good.
Episode 13, Zeppo. The Zeppo.
I think this is the doppelganger one. I think for some reason, Xander has like a much cooler version of himself running around.
Xander experiences an adventure of his own when he encounters a group of reincarnated corpses, but to construct a bomb. Meanwhile, Buffy and her friends battle the forces of evil when the Hell Mouth reopens.
I don't know that one. That's a blind spot.
Okay. Episode 14.
You said Bad Girls.
Bad Girls.
This was one, I think, like, Faith is like, come on, Buffy, be bad.
Yeah,
and they
that's
do,
literally
and they accidentally kill somebody. Or Faith does, anyway.
Episode 15 is Consequences.
This is where Faith is feeling bad because she killed somebody.
A homicide detective closes in on Buffy and Faith as he investigates the deputy mayor's death.
Yeah, because she staked him in an alley, like a wooden stake.
I really want to know, the people who are watching, they're going to be like, we have no proof that these are accurate.
These are accurate.
Okay.
It.
All right. So episode 16 is Doppelgangland.
I don't know this one that well, so we can skip. I don't know this one very well. I feel like Xander has a doppelganger, but I don't know it very well. Oh, this is a good one. This is when they accidentally pull Willow's vampire self from the Wish episode into the episode, and she's walking around with Willow.
Yeah.
I remember that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Episode 17 is Enemies.
This is the one where that was the one where Willow says, "I think I might be gay," and then Willow comes out as gay the next season.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what?
Enemies, episode 17.
This is when we found out that Faith isn't working with the mayor, and I believe this is when we found that out, and they kidnap Willow or something.
Faith attempts to seduce Angel and steal his soul.
Yeah. At the episode, we find out Faith's working for the mayor, who's the big bad.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Episode 18 is Earshot.
Oh, this was a good episode. This is when Buffy is able to hear everybody's thoughts.
Okay.
It was a random episode.
Yep.
And it was a school shooting episode, too.
Relevant.
Well, she thwarts it, but, you know.
Not relevant. Episode 19 is Choices.
Choices. I don't know.
Mayor takes Willow prisoner after Buffy and her friends steal away a box containing demonic energy needed for Ascension Day.
Yeah, they have spiders in it. He has to eat them to prepare for Ascension. Like big spiders.
Ew.
Yeah.
Episode 20 is The Prom.
The Prom is one of the best episodes of season 3, and it's basically the prom. Like, some guy wants to unleash some devil dogs on the prom because he's mad that he didn't get a date.
Devil dogs.
That's what they were.
It just sounds funny. Like a hot dog.
And then Buffy gets an award. Because everybody knows she's a Slayer, and she's like, it's supposed to be secret identity. Really good episode. And Xander, and that's the episode that Buffy and Angel break up.
You showed me that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
I think 21, 22 are graduation day part 1 and graduation day part 2.
Ding, ding, ding.
You're welcome. Great.
There we go.
Yay! So stay tuned for this week's review. All that was from me. All of that was from me.
You had to like prove to yourself that you could do this.
I had to prove it. We'll be back.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today, like we said, we are taking a look at Apple TV Plus Original, which was actually produced by Warner Brothers. Shrinking.
What was that though?
It kept so it was like
why
Apple
was that? Why was that the point?
I every time I came on, I was like, "Is it an Apple TV Plus Original?" Warner Brothers Television. Like it made a very big point.
But why would you say is executive producer? I mean, I thought you were gonna say, to our surprise, a lot of it was created and written by Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso. That's an interesting fact.
And Jason Segel, who's in the show.
Yeah. I mean, just when you think of a fun fact, just make sure you're just. I love you.
You wanna hold hands?
We can hold hands.
Okay, thank you.
So, this is a thing now.
Your hands are very, very soft.
They always are. You say this. I use lotion because I'm a black person.
Well, but you made the comment about mine being soft the other day.
Your hands are soft. They're very soft.
Okay.
They feel great. I'm like, I was going to make a joke.
So let's talk about what the show's entire plot is.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is a grieving therapist starts to tell his clients exactly what he thinks. Ignoring his training and ethics, he finds himself making huge changes to people's lives, including his own.
Oh,
So generalization, the main actor, Jason Segel, who plays Jimmy, his wife passed away about a year ago. And he is finally coming to terms and accepting this and moving on and how that's affecting him in his work life and everything else.
well, he doesn't. I mean, when the show, he's still in the thick of it.
He
the,
is.
The show is really about dealing with grief
Yes.
or dealing with his grief as far as that goes. But when we meet him, he is not in a good place.
No, I mean, the first scene we see him, he has 2 hookers in a pool and he's doing painkillers and possibly cocaine.
Yeah, we've established cooking isn't that bad anymore. Everybody does it.
When did we establish that?
I'm assuming. I don't know. But
Okay.
but next in that is our next like big name, which is Harrison Ford, who plays Paul, and Paul is the owner of the practice.
Yes.
The owner of the psychiatry or therapy practice that Jimmy works at.
So I know there's a therapist and a psychiatrist, and one can prescribe medicine. I don't believe that's what these are. So I think it's a therapist.
Therapist. So and he is just like, just like he's like a curmudgeon.
He's old.
He's
He's
curmudgeon-y.
very stuck in his ways.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for years. But the other big part is he is Jason Segel's mentor.
Yeah, I don't know if it's by choice.
No, Jason kind of just like chooses him to be his mentor, and Harrison reluctantly does it.
Yeah. And I mean, and before we usually talk about what these people are from. Like we know Jason Segel's from How Many Run. That's his big thing. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, that crap. Harrison Ford. If you do not know who Harrison Ford is, I need you to step out of a first floor window. And what I mean by that is that it just gives you enough pain that make you remember who he is, not to kill you.
Can we talk about
Indiana Jones?
Harrison
about
Han Solo.
Can we discuss Air Force One? Can we also
that
discuss
is him, isn't
The
it?
Fugitive? It wasn't me. It was the one. Our man. Come on, Harrison Ford. We know him. We love him.
Yes.
So yeah,
I felt kind of sad for him. in
married
the
to
show.
Callista Flockhart, which I fully forgot.
Yeah.
Alan McBeal. Come on. So there we go. We have Jessica Williams, who plays Gabby. She is
the third of the therapists who work
Yeah.
in Paul's practice. She is the woman influence, and she kind of splits the patients with Jimmy. I don't think a lot of them have Paul as a therapist anymore.
right. I think Paul's at that point where he's like, "Look, I'm too important.
Exactly.
I'm running the business."
Yes.
And then the next kind of, I think we really have probably 4 other characters. This is a big like
Ensemble cast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have Luke Tenney, who plays Sean.
And Sean is the first like main patient of Jimmy's that we see. He is a veteran who's back from Afghanistan, who is trying to deal with
His anger issues.
and a little PTSD. It sounds like.
Yeah. Then we have Michael Urie, who plays Brian. Now, Brian is Jimmy's gay best friend. We all know Michael Urie recently from that Netflix movie, Single All the Way. He was in that, I believe. He was also in Ugly Betty back in the day. So that's really what we know him from. And Brian is just like, when we meet Brian and Jimmy have been estranged for a while. Like he kind of shut down and kind of like didn't talk to Brian for a while. But Brian is he's a lawyer and he's,
well, during the time that Jimmy's really kind of fallen off the wagon and really been beating himself up, he's just gone inward and like blocked all of his friends off. Brian being the main one.
Yeah. Then we have
Lukita Maxwell, who plays Alice, which is Jimmy's daughter.
Yeah. Teenage daughter, 16, 17. what have you.
Angsty, lost her mom, which again has to work through it. She's doing that for the majority of the show. That's about it.
Yeah. We have, and then the last that we're really going to mention is Kristen Miller, who plays Liz. Liz is the next door neighbor who was, obviously she's the neighbor. She's really good in the family. She knows everybody in there. And she's been kind of helping out with Alice,
Yes.
just because Jimmy hasn't really been there. But Kristen Miller has been around. We know her from Scrubs. We know her from Cougar Town. I would give her shit for playing the same character that she plays in every fucking show that she's in.
But she kills it.
But yeah, I think she does it enough years apart to where it doesn't annoy me.
So this one, I don't remember her playing the mother as much in those other roles. Like the other one, she was still kind of like the snippy, get away from me, blah, blah, blah person. But this one, her characteristic that they really kind of dug into was she's the mom. She wants to be involved. She wants to like be the person who you go to and be involved in everything.
She in Cougar Town, she was a mom, but she
Okay.
I'm not saying like this. I'm not saying the reasons why she's bitchy is the same.
Yeah.
She's always just bitchy. In every show she's in, she's just like, I'm bitchy for this reason.
But she plays it
And
well.
I'm bitchy but lovable.
Yeah.
It's that character. So, which again, if she did it more often, I would care. But
Fair
I
enough.
just had to put that out. So it's a lot of characters.
Very
a lot
much.
of characters. We also did mention that Gabby was also Jimmy's wife, whose name was Tia. Gabby was her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that's how she's kind of in the equation. So as far as the show itself, I will say that you mentioned you suggested we watch this show, and I don't know if you all noticed, I scoff at basically 80% of the things that MJ says. And I own up to that. So
Okay, thank
don't
you.
make faces.
Thank you for owning.
Don't make faces.
I was wanting to like own that.
But you know what? You ain't gotta make it a big deal. Just let me say what I'm gonna say.
Okay, that's why I'm playing with my computer. I'm not giving you. I'm just keep going.
This is why.
Keep going.
This is why.
It's on. It's
so I wasn't like excited to watch this show, but once I kind of got into it, I was like, okay, I kind of see what they're doing here, which is kind of cool. So yeah, so we do open up, as he said, like Jimmy is really kind of like he's going through it. Like he is drunk, he is not sober, he is old pills. He's probably doing black tar heroin. He's probably freebasing a little bit. You know, having unprotected sex with strangers. Who knows at this point? Like who's to say? Who's to say?
Maybe Liz, because again, the opening part where we meet Liz, she's having an argument with her husband to who gets to go down and tell Jimmy to shut the F up now because he's being too loud out at the pool.
Yeah. So we learn very quickly that he has been very absent from his daughter's life.
Very.
Liz has really been taking care of Alice. Alice has also been, seeing Paul on the side.
Yep.
To kind of talk about her feelings and stuff. Not necessarily like, I guess they weren't really calling it therapy. They were going to a park and sitting, and she was just kind of venting.
Well, and they very much explain the dynamic later of like she pays him in candy, and she brings up like, why did I pay you in candy? And he goes, because you're broke.
Yeah.
And I like candy.
Yeah. Yeah. And but everybody else is also dealing with a lot of other stuff in this. Like Jimmy, as we said, is dealing with, the death of his wife. Gabby's dealing with being in a marriage that it's not the word abusive, but he's a substance abuser, I believe.
He's emotionally like, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. It's like she's there for him emotionally and supportively, but he doesn't repay it. Like it's not equal.
Right. She was there through his whole substance abuse thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so now she's just kind of like,
she almost like feels responsible for him.
Right. Paul is dealing with, I don't know if it's cancer or Parkinson's. He's dealing with a Parkinson's diagnosis.
Well, and Gabby's best friend was also Tia, so dealing with the death of her best friend.
Right. Yeah. There's that as well. And then we think about Sean, who is, we say he's the patient who has like anger issues. Like he's literally beating people almost to death.
Like the reason he's at the therapy session originally was he was court ordered to go to a therapist.
Yes. And then in the middle of that, because he beat somebody to death, his parents kind of kicked him out of the house.
Because he kept doing it. Because he would still, like, not only he was doing it on a regular basis, but he kept doing it even after going to therapy.
Yeah. And he wasn't taking the therapy really seriously either. He was just angry. And we're kind of moving through and kind of back, we're playing a game here. And this is where Jimmy kind of, starts like, it almost feels like he's just very annoyed with his patients. And he's like, you know what? You say you can't sit down on the fucking bench, go sit on the fucking bench. Like, stop being a pussy about it.
I feel like every therapist does that.
Yeah, like he was just like, I'm fed up and stop fucking doing it. Like, it was almost that. And with the whole Sean thing, he ends up letting Sean stay with him when he
gets kicked out.
When he gets kicked out of his house.
Well, but he also starts, like in the first episode, his treatment. Sean was the first kind of experiment. So where okay, you want to fight somebody, let's go do it in a controlled environment. And he used to take him, and he started taking him to MMA classes where he could actually go fight once a day, once a week, something to get that anger out.
And then during that, or not during that, but like either the day or day after or something like that, he's on his own and some guy like bumps into him. Or somebody thinks he's looking at his girlfriend or something like that, and Sean snaps, it beats the shit out of the guy, and then gets kicked out of his house. I'm
trying. No. He got kicked out because he came home with a black eye from MMA, and his parents thought he was still fighting.
Oh, was that it?
And that was it. And then the guy who bumped him because he thought he was on his girlfriend, that's when he didn't kick his ass, and he called called Jimmy to be like, I didn't do it. I want to do it. You can talk me down.
That's what it was. So, but he's living in the pool house.
Exactly.
That's all you need to know. And and it's like, obviously, like, immoral is the one word. Illegal, illegible.
It's unethical.
Unethical.
A lot of what Jimmy does is unethical. I was like,
illegible, unreadable, hard to read, hard to say, hard to pronounce. You're like,
yes,
unethical. Yeah, that one. And then Brian is dealing with not really anything.
He's the loss of his friend. Like he understood he needed to give Jimmy space. He's like, I'm gonna he ghosted me a year ago, but we're best friends. I understand you're going through something. I'm going to be the bigger person. But Brian's also that really annoying person whose his catchphrase is everything goes my way.
Yeah, which I found to be kind of cool. And I think that was a really good, like, the way they, to me, in my opinion, I know that I have friends who, if something big happened in my life and I ghosted them for a year and then I finally reach back out, I know that it will be, we're picking back up right where we left off.
Oh, exactly.
Like, let's get it out, and then boom, it's over. And that's kind of how I believe that Brian and Jimmy are best friends in this show.
They are.
It did not seem forced at all. Because,
and like you said, they picked up, like, literally, he went to see him, or he called him, went to see him for a second to help out Sean, because Sean ends up actually getting a fight that involves Jimmy.
Yeah, and Brian has to get a lawyer, so Brian's a lawyer.
But literally, the moment Brian was able to take a step back in, Brian did, I think, aggressively, like, try to push himself back into his life.
Yeah.
More than Jimmy was wanting to. But I think it was good for Jimmy.
I think you need that at that point. You're like, I'm not gonna let you, like, just like you would with anybody who's, dealing with anything. It's like, I'm not gonna let you retreat again.
Exactly.
Like, I let you do it before. I'm not gonna allow that again.
But, like, literally, the conversation was, we're gonna go play pickleball at the courts like we have every single week back when you were still married. Just meet me there like normal. Like, it was just pick up right where you left off, like you said.
And then Alice, the daughter, obviously her big thing is just like, dealing with the death of her mother. And then her
dad being kind of a dick for the last year.
Yeah, her dad just being very absent. And then, so, in essence, she's lost two parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the midst of that, she's also developing a crush for Sean, who is like a 22-year-old dude.
And Alice is 17.
In her house. Yeah. So, it sounds like there is a lot of maneuvering pieces, but it really does kind of move in a good way. I think if I had to talk about a detractor for me, I think it's how fast, because Gabby and Liz don't know each other, I think it's how fast
they've met like twice,
become friends. Like, they made them really tight, and it kind of came out of nowhere for me. Did I love their friends? Yeah, but that is the only, like, really thing where I could be like,
I'm trying to think.
I don't think it's that quick.
It was a very forced. So, like, that. So again, they had met due to having, common people in their lives.
I think they're basically, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, they both care about Alice. So you have to think about the fact that Liz has kind of taken over the parenting.
Well, Gabby's her godmother
the past year, and Gabby's her godmother.
Mm-hmm.
So their common ground is really Alice, and they both want to help her
very much.
So I guess that's enough. It just felt like by the end of the show, they were both like tee hee hee, and I'm like, really? Like, it's been like a day.
And again, the first time they meet after the fact, again, Liz has been so involved that she again is the mothering, like, wants to stay there, can't leave Alice alone, but Jimmy needs her to back off so Jimmy can start taking more steps as being the father. So Gabby kind of goes over and, like, back the fuck up, bitch.
Therapies her.
Yeah, like, you need to back up, let Jimmy step back in and explain, be the dad. You need to stop being the mom. And they kind of go off aggressively before, and even Liz calls her out about, like, oh, is that the basketball you said you got her last time, even though there was no basketball here? Like, calls her out on some of her bullshit. And it grows quickly after that.
Yeah, which isn't horrible, but it's fine. But so we do know Sean is obviously the patient that we really focus on, but we meet like 2 or 3 other patients that Jimmy kind of starts giving his tough love to. We're not going to go through them, but he's definitely trying this tough love approach with a lot of his patients. One of them is very OCD, so he's trying to be very forceful with that. One of them has an abusive boyfriend, so he's trying to be very abusive. He's trying to be very like forward with that. So there's
Mhm.
definitely he's definitely tried to approach with other clients of his to see how it works. And Paul is initially very against it, but then ends up saying, you know what, I will let you try this
Well,
out just to see if it's helping you,
yes.
then I will let you do it.
Well, and I mean, so like the OCD one, the one that got me was when he took her back to her apartment because she's that person who take your shoes off at the door. Make sure you don't sit down on my furniture if you're in the clothes that you wore out. You have to be clean. The big like some of the things during her therapy sessions, if the clock hit the first minute and she noticed it, like of that minute,
She had to hold her breath.
exactly. But Paul took her back to her apartment.
That's not right.
To literally go through and like, okay, been out in the park. We're gonna sit on your couch. Blah blah blah. Well, she misinterprets and tries to kiss him. So like, you see that what he's doing can be misread. Like it's having some downfalls, but he perseveres and continues to work through it.
Yeah, he's basically trying to establish a new form of therapy.
Yes,
And obviously, just with anything else, it's trial and error.
exactly.
So I mean, for me, in this particular show,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get into the thought of Bay of the Week, and I think for me, I honestly, my brain really kind of goes to Harrison Ford. If I'm honest, to me, it would be either Harrison Ford or it would be Luke Tenney who plays Sean.
Yeah.
Because I think the reason for Harrison Ford for me is because I don't think I was aware
Mm-hmm.
of his range. And
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of his range at all. And this type of show really surprised me for him. And then I think for me, the reason I would think Luke Tenney is just because he was like a really cool, fresh face that I'd never seen before that I just really enjoyed having in the show.
I would honestly say Luke Tenney would have been my first, and then Gabby would have been my second. I don't think Harrison
Gabby was
Ford.
great too.
Harrison Ford didn't spark my interest. I think Gabby, with the range and kind of how she brought like a little of the motherly, a little bit of like the strong, powerful black woman aspect, and
Racist. I mean, she could just be a strong woman.
she's a strong woman.
I'm just kidding.
But no, I would say Sean is my first choice. Gabby would be my second.
I could agree with Sean. Like
Yeah.
he really was a great. His character was written very. You could do it. His character was written very well rounded, very well. As we said, we know Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso wrote a good amount of these episodes as well.
Mhm.
I don't know if a good amount, but he wrote some.
Well, and
He was writing some.
exactly. But again, I enjoy also that he did things you weren't expecting him to do, like you
Such as.
being the
Are you talking about the actor himself, or are you talking about the character?
the character, being the person who's back from Afghanistan, who's 22, who is dealing with anger issues and living at his therapist's house. You kind of assume he's gonna like not always make the best choices in his life. So in an episode, like I said, Alice kind of grows into having a crush on him. He actually politely he's like, look, I appreciate what's going on. Like you're a child still. You're under 18. I'm 20 something. This can't happen. Like he politely and like very well handles that situation where it could have exploded into something much worse.
I don't know if I would tie that directly to his character. I think they did that with a lot of characters.
Okay.
I think that was a theme throughout a lot of what everybody did. I just don't know if I would tie that directly to his character.
Well, and I don't know. It just
Personally.
So it was, I don't know. I just felt like his character had a lot of development in ways that I wasn't expecting, I guess is the best way to say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think this was a watch or nay? Yay or nay?
Based on your tone, I can
gay
guess what
or not gay.
I can guess what you're going to say, but I'm going to say for me, I enjoyed it. It's a watch. They're very like 30-minute episodes, quick and easy. The comedy was there. I think the chemistry was there. Like you said, you fully believed that Jimmy and Brian were friends in this. I think Gabby was fully believable. Sean had great development. Alice was a little entitled to me as her character, but she's raised by a rich middle class white man in California.
Do we establish that they're rich?
They're living in California and have a house with a pool. I'm assuming yes, they're rich. Like they even say
So
that their
what-
next door neighbor is a rich white woman.
Was Sean rich? Because they had a house. I don't think we can categorize them as
Fine,
rich.
fair enough.
I
A
mean,
well off,
I think well off makes more sense.
fair enough. But like
Now Liz and Derek are rich.
yes,
They just throwing cash around.
they got an $8,000 toilet.
So those they rich. We was that was
Yes.
established.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, so I would say for me, all around, it's a good show that has potential. I made a point of watching for the cast and ended up enjoying the actual show.
You watched it for Jason Segel.
Harrison Ford was actually the one I watched it for. I thought he'd be more involved.
I call bullshit on that. Now, here's why.
Why?
Because you're such a big fan of How I Met Your Mother.
I am.
You can say that if you would have said yes and Harrison Ford because I love Harrison Ford, I'd be like, great. But you said no, I actually watched for Harrison Ford. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You know Jason Segel was there. You watched it for him as well.
I watched.
You love some him yam in your life.
I watch How I Met Your Mother. Love the show. Jason Segel's great. I don't like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and I don't like
I don't remember that movie.
and I don't like Yes Man.
What?
The one with him and Paul Rudd, I believe.
That was Jim Carrey,
No, it wasn't.
wasn't it?
Or Love You Man. That's the one with Jason and Paul.
Oh,
Yeah. So outside of How I Met Your Mother, Jason normally doesn't hit it out of the park for me. So the one I was looking forward to, and the reason why I made a point of this because it was unexpected. I did want to see what he could bring to it. Was Harrison Ford?
yes, yeah, defense we got. So I'm going to.
You got very
I'm
accusatory.
gonna go, it's my bag. I'm in my bag.
You're in your accusatory era.
I am. So I think for me, I'm gonna take a more personal approach as
Okay.
to why I think I like this show. I think you go more technical or went more technical in this
Go on.
particular aspect. I'm gonna say it's a watch, and it's really for one reason. I think any show that is like this, that I'm not gonna call a sitcom, but is really all about Steel Magnolia's laughter through the tears kind of show.
Yeah.
You haven't even seen Steel Magnolias, right?
No, I have not.
It's on the fucking list. Jesus. So it's a laugh through the tears kind of show. I think for me, like when it's an ensemble cast like this, what I consider to say, is this show good, is if I wish I was in that friend group somehow. And it was like, I would love to be Gabby's friend. I would love to be Liz's friend. I would love to be Brian's friend. I would love to know this person. I think that is a testament of what kind of relationships and what kind of story and what kind of plot they weave.
Okay.
So to me, that's why I think it's a watch, because you really are like, not that I care about these people, but I wish I could be in there. I wish I could be at that party. I wish I could be having these conversations with these people.
Okay.
That to me is what sold me on it, was that eventually I'm like, I wish I was your friend at some point. That's
Now-
that's me.
You wish you were included in like the Cult of the Rock?
I mean, I don't know about all that, but I wish that, not like wish, but you have that feeling of like, it would be so cool to be involved in that or to be friends with these people. Like,
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Oh.
So yeah, I'd say a watch as well.
I'm actually shocked you said this is a watch.
You're being very easy, or maybe TV's just getting better lately. I don't know.
I
don't know.
We've been watching more variation from outside of Netflix, and I feel like a lot of the shows outside of Netflix have been a lot better recently. That being said, watch what we're going to review for next week.
What?
I feel like the shows that on Apple TV actually have been getting better. Like I'm trying to think back, out of all the ones on Apple TV, have we ever said one's not been a watch?
What?
Severance. Out of all the shows we reviewed that have been Apple TV Plus originals,
We said Servant wasn't.
that was the only one I think. Ted Lasso, watch. Severance, watch.
We've only
This,
done 3.
watch.
Yeah.
Servant, not it's like 4, 3 of them, so 75% quality assurance there.
Out of how many fucking shows they have on their show. I don't want to get in this argument. I'm going to argue. I know I am. We don't need to get in this argument. We're living. We're moving on together as a unit.
Okay.
Um,
This is Watch Us with Jay and MJ.
yeah. So tune in next week. Find us on the dial.
I can't with you sometimes.
On the dial.
The dial.
Like FAM.
Oh, I get you.
Right in between politispeak and Jesus scriptures.
Oh,
or what
God.
the fuck? Like they're all over AM.
Where did you get? Like, how did you swerve into that?
I don't know.
Crazy.
The Bible likes to find its way into weird places
Mm-hmm.
for no reason.
Uh-huh.
It ain't got no business being there. Ain't no business over here in my Kool-Aid, in my shit. You politispeak.
On that note, I think we should just we're going to end this. We're just going to boop.
Yeah, I'm rambling.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye. You've been listening to Watch or Not with Jay and MJ.
Interact and give us suggestions on what to watch at watchornotpodcast@gmail.com.
You can follow us on Twitter at watchornot_pod.
And don't forget about Instagram, you guys, at watchornotpod.
Don't forget you can support the pod by joining our Patreon at Watch or Not with Jay and MJ.
And subscribe and leave a review wherever you guys listen to podcasts. Talk to you soon.